Yes, here we are once again, live on a Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. Of course, that means it's time for the High Noon Hemp Show. Find us video on demand and live, of course, on Facebook at the Temptations Beach Facebook page. The YouTube channel is Jedi Hemp, and you can go to @Temptations on Twitter as well. If you don't want to see us on all of our glory and amazingness, excuse me, you want to see all the great pictures and the graphics and all that stuff, that's fine too. Go to Podbean, Google Play, or iHeartRadio to find the podcast. I'm, of course, Stoner Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs you can search out if you feel like it. He is Beach, high above the Temptations in Sharonville on this nasty, rainy day in the Cincinnati area. Beach, how are things this week in the world of Temptations?
It's officially fall. I mean,
Indeed.
that's it's just officially fall today, and fall has said, "Hey, I am going to fall." And when I say fall, we're going to go from 90-degree temperatures to 60-degree temperatures, which is fine by me. I
Yeah.
have no real problem with it. I was prepared for it. I was watching the weather. Um, I definitely, as you will see later in the "What are you wearing?" beach segment of the show, dressed for cold weather, so to speak. Uh, So yeah, welcome everyone to the High Noon Hemp Show, first day of fall episode, or the we have one more episode for the season finale. So the season finale is next week. Is that correct? I think
Indeed. It is
12, 12,
crazy.
12, 12, 144 episodes. Man, that will be crazy. But today it's just season 12, episode 11,
Right.
episode 143, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, everybody. I do appreciate you watching now, whether you're watching now, watching later, whatever it may be. We are the High Noon Hemp Show, as my partner in hemp over there, Stoner Jesus, has said. I am Beach, and I am high above the Sharonville location in what I call the hemp quarters. It's true for the High Noon Hemp Show.
Indeed.
Um, not too much going on locally. I will say that, and I might have mentioned this before, and I've been talking about the marijuana meetup groups that I go to, and I'll tell you about that later because I was invited to go there because of my hemp and CBD knowledge. So I've been participating in those. Well, the organizer of that is now teaching the UC class on marijuana and hemp.
Wow.
So she has asked me to do my presentation to the class on hemp, and so I'm going to do that next week. I believe that's next week. Man, this time is just flying by. So, uh, I think I got one more show. The season finale will happen before that happens, and so that'll be, the season finale will prepare me of the High Noon Hemp Show will prepare me for my talking to the students, and it's a big class. It's a big class, to be honest with you. And so I'm super excited to be educating these kids at UC that are interested in marijuana. I should say in cannabis. It should be called cannabis and all its great uses. But then the kids wouldn't. They'd be like, "Oh, cannabis, what's that?" You put marijuana on there. It's like, "Oh, I could take a class in marijuana." Whoa! You get 3 credits for this? I don't know how many credits you get. I'm not attesting to that, but and from my understanding, it is more from what Bonnie was telling me, more of an older group. More juniors and seniors in the class. And again, why not? I mean, this is a huge industry, regardless of what cannabis you want to go into. Huge, booming industry for jobs. So, good for UC to recognize that. And other, places that not just, because there's all kinds of cannabis schools out there right now. Most of them marijuana schools. Learn how to be a bud tender or whatever. Um, those are I think good for people that want to go into that particular genre of cannabis, so to speak. But there are so many more opportunities job wise that it does seem silly that most major universities would not educate their kids and whatnot on that, because there are plenty of them that want to go in the industry one way or another, on the marijuana side and on the hemp side, legitimately. So Uh, Excited about that. That's gonna be fun to educate um, those kids on hemp for sure. All right, let's get on with the product spotlight. This first one, of course, we just got a fresh batch of these in, and this is probably one of the more popular CBD products with Blissful Botanicals kratom and CBD capsules. They've actually added a little bit more milligram of CBD per capsule. And again, a lot of our customers use kratom. I don't, I'm still not positive how to pronounce it. I'm gonna have to go to Indonesia and see how they pronounce it uh, for therapeutic use as much as CBD. That is for sure. And so, we tend to run out of these more than we should because they are popular. It's true. I need to keep these on the shelves more. So, um, the next one, we also just got a fresh batch in, and I know I've actually kind of really been talking about the Merry Hamsters a lot these days. And again, because the Merry Hamsters was one of those companies that existed when we opened, or existed real close after we opened. I know it was right around the same timeline. And so we continuously try to carry their products. And of course, they have a new line of CBD stuff, which is really good too, some lotions and some CBD lip balms. But this is just their classic organic lip balms, especially as we start to get into that colder weather and whatnot. It's good to keep that lubrication that hemp provides for your lips. And so there you have it. 7 different flavor profiles for your organic hemp lip balm needs. And I love, and this has been their motto since they started it. And it says, I don't know if they've back to putting it back on the boxes or I'm just noticing it again, but it's a hip trip for the lips. And they have used that. That's always been on their label on their um, lip balms for as long as I can remember. So hip trip for the lips. You got to love that. It's a good slogan, no doubt about it. Um, this next one, I tried to forget it, but I got the picture over just in time. And I know I talk about these guys a lot too because these are. I cannot believe how super popular the Dr. Squatch soaps are. Um, but they are super popular, and we just got another fresh batch in. I mean, this shelf was empty 3 days ago, and then we just got a fresh batch in, and I think it's going to be empty again. It's like unbelievable how quickly we sell the Squatch soap. So get on in. I need to update the website as far as what we have on there. We have some of that on there, but I know they've changed some of the scents. Some scents went away, and they've definitely changed the boxes. So I'll try to get to updating that as soon as I can, for sure. And the last one, last but not least, is a product that I encourage all coffee drinkers to use. If you have a coffee maker that takes a filter, and that is the Planet Everywhere reusable coffee filters. Again, we got a large size and kind of a medium size. And again, one coffee filter, rest of your life, no more coffee filters ever again. Paper, unbleached, however you want to, whatever. Get rid of it. Get yourself a Planet Everywhere hemp coffee filter, and that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do right there to satisfy your eco-friendly coffee making. I went from using a hemp coffee filter forever to a Keurig, and then when I had the Keurig, I was like, this is like one of the most environmentally ridiculous things I've ever done. And so we had to get rid of our Keurigs because I was like taking the Keurig cups. They had this little razor thing that you take it around the top and it separates the top from the bottom, so I could recycle the bottom. And I mean, for its convenience, they were great. But for the planet and all the crap that it produced, they were awful. So we went back to the good old fashioned hemp coffee filter. Um, and that's what I drink my coffee out of. That's one thing they don't tell you. I didn't really think about right out of the gate. And it's only because I love coffee that we had these Keurig systems to begin with. is how unenvironmentally friendly it really is. And if you do want to be environmentally friendly with it, and you can, just like I said, then it's time consuming. It's like I spend half my time, like, you know, peeling the tops off of these things and separating them, cleaning the plastic piece so I can recycle and blah, blah, blah. Um, so, anyway, there's the solution to all the coffee problems of the world: hemp coffee filters made right here at Planet Everywhere. Temptations. It's true. And this last one, of course, four from the store, one from my door, as I like to say. This is the bar stool that I sit on every day, the chair that I sit on every day that I rehemped, I should say, or I hemped because it wasn't hemp originally. It was all torn up. And so I hemped it. And when I'm sitting here doing the High Noon Hemp Show, my butt is located on this particular hemp chair. Um, so there you have it, folks. Four from the store, one from my door on the High Noon Hemp Show. I haven't even logged into the YouTube. I hope everything's going well over there on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, that's where I'm going to be soon. So I'm sure everything is fine and dandy.
Seems to be. Facebook is just looks awful. I mean, the videos. So if you're watching on Facebook, I would suggest going over to YouTube, as the pictures is clear and great, just as good as the Facebook feed is bad. It's crazy.
Right?
In any case, that
And
brings
I
us,
am
of
live.
course, to the greatest segment in internet history. I've yet to be proven wrong. In 143 episodes, no one has shown me a better segment in internet history than the beachwear segment, where hemp and fashion collide. And I ask Beach one very important question. Sometimes I ask him more questions during the show, but this one is the most important. What are you wearing, Beach?
That's right. Feeling quite green today, that is for sure. So if you're asking yourself, hey, what are you wearing, Beach, on this nice chilly day? You've seen me in shorts so many times. Um, Although I did, on the old episode, going back a couple, I did just wear jeans recently. But on the top there, I've got my classic Hempy's kind of military style hat. Had to wear a jacket because it was kind of chilly when I left the house earlier, that's for sure. So there's a good old hemp hoodlam, medium jacket. Um, got my U.S. Hemp Oh No T-shirt that was also printed here at Planet Everywhere. Um, we used the numbers 1937, which was when.
Nope. Beach is frozen? That's the first time in a long time the beach has been frozen. Been going, had a lot of shows in a row with no glitches or anything like that, and it was great. But here we are. In the middle of the greatest segment in internet history, we have frozen beach. You see crawl, if you're watching the video, you see crawling along the bottom, the locations, temptations.com. You can find the locations in the Southwest Ohio area. If you want to shop online, of course, you can do that through temptations.com or planeteverywhere.com. If you're looking for CBD spa treatments in Cincinnati, tohispa.com as well. We also have some commenters on the Facebook page, which I can bring up right here. Ken Nagely. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry. Asking about the Clay Estate hemp patch. Yeah, God, I don't know if he talked about that or not. It's not. It doesn't come to. Doesn't ring a bell. But I'll try to remember to bring it up to Beach when he comes back. Destiny saying howdy, Beach. Howdy as well. Beach has returned.
It
Try to.
had to happen.
There we go.
There's the chime that says beach has returned. I have sound effects for once.
That's right.
Sorry about that, folks, but that was completely my fault. Of course, my internet, when it does go down, it doesn't go down for too long anymore. That's for sure, and I'm right on it. But that was my internet causing that disruption. So back to what are you wearing, Beach? Because I know that was just, everybody wants to know how to complete this outfit here.
Freaking out.
So we got the Hempy's belt holding up the good old Kentucky Hemp Outfitters jeans. Also look closely in my front pocket there. You will see my Green Springs technology pen, which I carry everywhere as well. I did wear those classic head case briefs that I was talking about, boxer briefs. That's a pair of those. Um, and again, probably one of the oldest, I'm sure, because I think they were the first that I know of to actually make head case was to make any type of brief at the time. And then bringing the outfit all together there was my knee high Satori cantilever socks with the good old pair of Adidas. Um, so if you're asking yourself, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know. On this first of fall days, there it is.
Indeed.
Um, indeed, indeed. There's a little bit of news going on. Not too much, really. This first pick is there was an article. I love it because there's only three things in this eco-friendly lunch packing materials, and this bag um, is made again. It's just your, use it for a lunch bag, use it for a grocery bag kind of looking bag. Um, Kitchen Garden is the name of the company that's making these eco-friendly hemp. I call that a tote bag. It does look like the right size. Used for a little lunch bag. It's a great idea. If you carry your lunch and you need a little bag to carry your lunch and you're looking for something eco-friendly, why not a little hemp bag? Makes sense to me. You don't want some chemically laced cotton bag or something with made from chemicals itself. No, you want hemp. So there you have it. Kitchen Garden. This is a bag we need to get into the stores. We need to make some more of these at Planet Everywhere or something because the reusable grocery tote reusable bag is still super popular, as well it should be. We get rid of all. I don't ever need paper or plastic. I have like 10 hemp totes every vehicle, I think. But so when I go to the grocery store, I don't need bags. Period. I have my bags with me. Um, Still proving that the world needs those things. Um, Virginia Tech is actually doing some studies on the alternative uses for cannabidiol byproducts. So this is interesting. Okay, so now they're trying to figure out what to do, I guess, with other parts of the plant um, once CBD is extracted, and they're actually looking into the pectins as a modifying agent in wood-based material. And so what they're really looking into is pectins, and again, pectins are found in multitudes of uh, food product plants, whatnot. Usually used, I think, as sugar substitutes or sugar things in food product, but apparently you can use them as kind of a bonding agent as or we will find out how well they work as a bonding agent. Hopefully once this study that's happening at Virginia Tech gets done, and so that's kind of interesting. Um, and I'm going to jump right into actually because this is what I do know about industrial hemp is that it also contains lignin, and lignin is a very strong bonding agent, from my understanding. And there's actually a chemist in Nebraska. His name is Barry Chong. He recently introduced an approach that chemically couples a structure granting component of hemp fibers, lignin, and then linking it with molecules that fortify resulting biocomposite. And again, if you've watched the show once or 100 times, you know how much I love hemp composite. With hemp composite, we could replace 60 to 70% of the world's plastic. Now, possibly with what this Nebraska chemist is actually coming up with, is yet another stronger, different biocomposite that may work on that remaining 30% of plastic that we don't need. Um, And so, once again, proving, and again, I knew that, lignin is, from my understanding, lignin is kind of one of nature's glues. Lignin is something that, um, one reason why hemp stalks are so strong when they're alive, I believe, is the lignin content. And then you have to break that down. Um, and then, it even becomes like a dried um, byproduct of breaking down the hemp. And I've always said somebody needs to look into that for a glue or a bonding agent, um, and see how that would work. Um, you know, I've always said, in all honesty, that CBD oil, straight CBD oil, or even straight THC oil, it would be a great bonding agent, because it is sticky and tacky and whatnot. And so there are definitely agents of the hemp plant from the probably the top to the bottom that can help in those things. And again, if we can make these things out of nature, how much happier will the planet be? Suppose we're trying to make them in some plant. As much as I love Gorilla Glue, I don't know if it's good for the planet. You know, and I shouldn't bring up any specific brand. There's 100 brands of glue that may or may not be really good for the planet one way or another. So it's something to look into. All natural glues are stronger. All natural glues. We have all natural glues. Not sure how strong they really are compared to the synthetic versions, which is the same with hemp fiber. It does not compare to synthetic fiber in strength. What it does compare or surpass is, again, the friendliness to the earth. It's a sustainable um, uh, product. Instead of drilling for oil, you just cut the plant, and so that you have to consider. And synthetic products have synthetic waste. And so how do we get, the earth does not know how to filter out these things and make it clean again. It's not how the earth, we did that. We need to figure out how to not do that. And so, that's always been one of my arguments. It's not against synthetic products, so to speak. It's really against the waste and and everything that you have to do to make them, because they are, all in all, completely superior and do have a purpose on the planet, I suppose. Um, but not shouldn't be the purpose of everything we buy. It should just be something that's going to last 500 years in the dang landfill. Um, because again, that's just a ridiculous idea. And these composites, these biocomposites that are made using hemp fiber or hemp lignin or hemp pectins or any of that are, again, uh, compostable or biodegradable, either one or both sometimes. And so, once again, chuck it in the yard. You don't have to worry about it. Chuck it in the landfill, for that matter. And again, it's going to break down and not sit on that, mountain of trash for 500 years, um, going nowhere, other than breaking down on small amounts and then finding its way into the water system and then finding its way into the fish in the oceans, because that's what's happening. That's the science of it that we're finding out is, um, even as plastic takes so long to break down, once again, it is finding its way into the ocean's digestive tract. That's awful. It's just a terrible, terrible way to treat our planet. These poor innocent fish, they don't deserve that, do they? I don't know. I doubt it. I really do. We find you can't pull anything out of the ocean without finding plastic in it, on it, around it, trapping it. I mean, again, it's just, if that was made out of hemp, even if the fish got caught in it, like within a day, it would probably dissolve, and the fish would probably eat it because it probably has nutritional value somehow to the fish as it was breaking down. Um, and so, Anyway, keep up the good work, scientists at Virginia Tech and scientists in Nebraska, and making biocomposites and using hemp for biocomposites, even going down to even smaller molecules or components. Again, I think that um, the whole plant has so many chemical compounds and whatnot in it. There's an endless amount of products, and we've always known that an endless amount of products at this point, honestly, can be made out of hemp. Here, this is kind of fun. Old Jim Belushi, Jim Belushi. That's showing my age a little bit. Just even thinking for a minute, John Belushi, he's been gone for 30, 40 years. Getting into the old, and what this is why I really want to show this. I do think Jim Belushi is pretty funny actor. But the product is called K99. And I can just totally see like Jim Belushi in an interview going, yeah, K99. What do you mean? and so get yourself some, if you need some. Of course, we have plenty of stuff in the stores, but Jim Belushi putting his face on a CBD product called K99. Yeah, it's called K99. That's what we meant to call it. Here's another state doing some wacky stuff. Minnesota has decided. Minnesota. I feel like I've been talking about Minnesota a lot, but they've now decided that hemp-derived cannabinoids are okay in liquid, not okay in the leaf form. Again, I don't just so baffled at any time that one is okay and the other isn't. Um, you know, if you can smoke the leaf of tobacco in Minnesota, I don't know why you couldn't smoke the leaf of CBD flower. It makes once again zero sense as to why the two are differentiated. Um, and again, it's like what we're saying is the natural, most purest form of this plant. Cut it off the top, use it, Dundee, is not as good or against the law as a liquid where you take that same thing, take it to a plant, squish it down, extract all science blah, and then you come up with this liquid, and that's completely okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Don't take it right out of nature and use it. I'd like to say I could blame the pharmaceutical companies on this, but I can't. I don't know if the extraction companies had something to do with this. It just feels it's in any state that does this, it feels so. And I get it. There's a stigma with smoking, but again, if you can walk into the local gas station and buy yourself a pack of cigarettes made from tobacco, then keeping your citizens, your constituents, so to speak, from being able to purchase hemp to smoke is counterproductive. It's counterproductive. I mean, I'm seeing more articles now about using hempettes, as we call them, as a way to stop smoking cigarettes and get away from nicotine. But not in Minnesota. No, 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 no. Don't even try it, Minnesotans. Although I suppose you could probably go to the next state over if you're close, um, and probably find some. I think it's probably again one of those things where even the car alarms are going off right now. They disagree. Um, it's one of those things where you can probably you can have them, you just can't sell them. You can't go somewhere and buy them. They're not necessarily legal to possess, I should say. It's just not legal for stores to sell them, much like in Kentucky, which has the same stupid laws. And there's a couple other states that have the same stupid laws. Um, in Kentucky, I want to say it really is the tobacco companies like lobbied somebody in the Kentucky State Legislative to say no smoking of CBD flower because again it would totally cut in to that business that they wholeheartedly still support. Um, but the one of the reasons why hemp is legal in Kentucky is because tobacco farmers want to grow something else. They don't, I mean, they don't. It's not, there's money in growing tobacco, but I don't know what how much the conscience is. When they see what the tobacco companies do, and how hooked people are on this stuff. But and again, I am in no way proposing that tobacco should be illegal. It is a natural. It should be natural. Like, once again, you should be able to just go out and take your tobacco out of the field and roll it up. Not it goes to a plant, gets 500 freaking chemicals added to it, and then rolled up, and then you smoke it. I just, again, what an idea, what a principle to a business principle to be involved in. I'm going to take this totally natural thing. And again, we humans haven't been using tobacco very long, 300 years, maybe, documented. 300 or 400 years, maybe documented. It may go back further than that. I might have to go back, but because I do feel like the Catholic Church made tobacco use illegal like a long time ago. But I don't know if it was smoking it or chewing it or what. Anyway, this is my point. My point is it comes from nature. Humans have used it for a long time, and what's happened is humans taking advantage of other humans take this nature and they alter it and they add stuff to it and then sell it to us, which is just ridiculous. Again, that's why we always like the um, American Spirit. What a great principle of an idea when they came out with their tobacco products to say chemical free, no chemicals. We don't put decelerators, we don't put accelerators, we don't put 17 known carcinogens. And this is all stuff that I have researched in the past as far as the common cigarette company is what they do. Um, anyway, uh, and so Minnesota, how ridiculous to deny your citizens CBD flower. And I'm sure it's continue to let them smoke tobacco. Anyway, if you're in Minnesota, call somebody and tell them how ridiculous that is, for sure. Um, Now, this is interesting because a huge subject with CBD and CBD product is the entourage effect. And so the entourage effect describes all of the cannabinoids, the terpenes, everything working together and making the effects of the CBD or the THC or whatever it is that you're trying to get the effects from better. Well, there is actually some little bit of scientific proof. There was a study in scientific reports that said that this particular study said our findings suggest that these cannabis terpenes, this was on terpenes, they were working with terpenes to see whether it, boosted or didn't boost the CBD or THC. I'm not positive. Are multifunctional, and I don't. The word is cannabimimic. It sounds like mimic, which is interesting. That provide conceptual support for the entourage effect hypothesis. And so again, what the study was showing is that the results of isolates was not as good as the result of adding terpenes even. And again, we've been talking about terpenes a lot in the last year or two. Terpenes are the flavonoids, so to speak, but they also have purpose, as we're finding. Certain terpenes do this, certain terpenes do that. Um, and so once again, when this is allowing us once again. So if we know a terpene makes you tired, and we know that indica cannabis makes you tired, and you grow cannabis CBD, indica CBD, and you have the high terpenes, and then you know that that's the one you want to use at night. On the opposite side of that, we go, and most CBD plants are in fact sativa dominant right now because I think that was just easier to breed sativa dominant. But we're seeing again indica dominant CBD strains popping up more and more. And so again, you get the sativa with a terpene that's known to bring you an uplifting terpene and some other cannabinoids, not CBN because that's kind of one that you want with your sleep, but we find out some of these others. Maybe CBG is more of an uplifting. Maybe we don't know yet because we're still looking into all this. We're still trying to figure it all out. But it does make for uh, breeding better cultivars for specific purposes, which is what we've been doing with cannabis for the last 30 years or so, at least. Um, and so, with the whole uh, Prop 215 in California passing medically over 25 years ago now, again, that opened up more of this. Yes, we know this one does this and helps with this. We know this one does this and helps with this. And we breed these together. And we know that's going to do this, and so that helps people get the medicine or the proper therapeutic value. And again, now we're going through it all over again with CBD and whatnot. And so, you know, this is where we love the geeks, the horticulture geeks. They do, And once again, why do you want to take something like that? We've done so much breeding, and then you take that and you say, oh well, we don't trust that. We don't trust that flower on top of there. So you can cut it off and you can extract something from it, but don't whatever you do, all those years of breeding and whatnot. Don't use that flower. We use the byproducts of that flower. It's just ridiculous. But this is the dawn um, I should say, it's not the first dawn. It's probably the third dawn of cannabis breeding in the United States, um, whether legitimate or black market, so to speak. Um, and we're again finding out so much more. And again, that was because all the THC breeding was held up from the federal government. It's still held up from the federal government. It's even though they're studying it and doing studies, it's still not legitimately looked at in the medical world because the federal government still says it's not legal. Even though I don't know, there's like 40 states medically or something now. I mean, there's a crazy amount of just legal states, which I think is nuts, and how quickly that happened. And then there are some states that think you shouldn't use CBD flower. Ay, ay, ay. 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards. I don't know. I can't keep up with the government. It's crazy. The government's crazy. Um, I'm gonna show a couple hemp outfits here and get you guys on with your day. There's a couple events. This one here. Now, this was an article on the best budget. Um, I think it was kind of like light workout or light. I'm not sure, but there were two different ones, and this is an outfit by Tentry, and this was the most um, best budget. And so I'm gonna look into these guys, but ladies, at least if you're who's not on a budget, who doesn't like to save money. Apparently, this particular brand, Tentry, one word, um, is supposed to be very not just eco-friendly, but budget-friendly. So we'll have to check those out. See, I don't know if they make any men's clothing, but ladies, there's one for you to check out. And then this next picture is actually um, the best matching sets. Okay, and this is a company called Groceries Apparel, which I think is interesting because I'm not sure I would wear this to the grocery store if I was a woman. I mean, it definitely looks more like a workout outfit. And again, I don't care how you dress. It makes no difference to me. I think censorship in dress is just as dumb as censorship in music or anything. Wear whatever you want. I mean, it's so funny. We come out as, we're born naked, and then all of a sudden we like can get arrested if we're naked. And I'm not saying I want to run around naked. I do not. No one wants to see that. I don't really want other humans to do that. But I will also say, as long as you're not going inside anywhere, I really don't care. I don't want you shopping in the grocery store naked, but whatever. I mean, I've seen people shopping in the grocery store with just about as little clothing on as possible. And so, and again, whatever. We should never have to worry about what we wear, man. Again, this is like half of what we wear is completely unnecessary. It's, and so, but anyway, this is again a company called Groceries Apparel. And they were here, and I do like the looks of this stuff. Be very interesting to touch it and feel it to see. It's got to be a little stretchy too. I know they were using some other things, but there was actually some, like Lysol and Lysol, not Lysol, Lysol, I think, and some other synthetic fibers that are actually made out of, basically recycled plastic or other things. I think that they're even working, again on what you would call a synthetic fiber. And of course, you can do it with hemp oil. You could make a synthetic fiber from hemp oil that that again wouldn't have all the crap made from from petroleum oils, which does not get replaced either way. So there you have it, folks. That's all the news and products out there. The couple events here, and we'll get everybody on their way. A couple weeks again, first Tuesday of each month is the marijuana meetups, where I go and I do my hemp thing, and answer hemp questions and educate on hemp stuff and whatnot. That is the first Tuesday, like I just said, of every month at Mad Tree Brewery right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And really, the only other event that we have is this. I think it's this weekend, this Saturday, right here in Cincinnati as well, which is the Cannabis Health, Arts, and Music Fair at the Woodburn Brewing from 10 to 2. I'm sorry, from 2 to 10 here in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's about all the events that I have here on the High Noon Hemp Show. I think that I didn't have any questions.
We did have one in the Facebook. Ken wanted to know about the hat. Your hat, is it adjustable or fitted?
It is adjustable.
Okay.
It is adjustable.
There
so
you
there
go.
you have it. Ask Beach anything.
That's right.
And now you know. Yes, these hats are adjustable. I don't know that we have any in stock. I have to look to see. I would definitely look into just go to hempies.com, Hempy's website. I know they have retail stuff online if we don't have them in the stores, one way or another. All right, so I did get a question in. Man, now I really feel this show feels so fulfilling all of a sudden. I was going to say I might need some beach thoughts, but I don't. I think, I put my I added the beach thoughts thing to the end of the show. I didn't need questions, but the entire news should just be called beach thoughts for that matter. So, as always, folks, we appreciate you being here, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching later, and all those places that you can do that. YouTube's the best option, so I hear. Facebook. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations.
See you all next week for the season finale.
Season finale.